Shut up. I just wanted to say hi to the...
Shut up. Face the wall. Turn around. Turn around. 7 minutes, sir. Give me your hand. Give me your hand.
Yeah. And you weren't really sparring. You were fighting. We were fighting all the time. And just guys getting dropped all the time. And that was just the kind of gym that I was in.
But this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't.
Joe Rogan addressed rumors about Jake Paul possibly being arrested over claims that some boxing matches were staged. Rogan made it clear that no success in any career is worth putting your life at risk. He explained that boxing is a very dangerous sport and should never be taken lightly. Based on what has been reported, Rogan believes Paul needs to seriously think about his decisions before stepping into the ring again, because chasing attention or money through risky fights can end badly. Jake Paul has been surrounded by controversy in recent months, and this situation adds to that image. Rogan once again stressed that boxing carries extreme danger, and fighting without proper care can cause permanent harm. He also warned that being involved in illegal or scripted activities could lead to serious legal consequences for any fighter.
You have probably seen some of the controversy he's been taking.
Nor anyone from his team acted wrongly or tried to arrange a fight in any dishonest way. He answered the widespread rumors claiming the bout with Anthony Joshua was planned and said these stories are completely false. Nikis explained that many people online share extreme claims, including the idea that Joshua had agreed not to knock out Jake. He made it very clear that Joshua fought fairly and ended the fight on his own, without following any secret agreement. Nikis stressed that Jake trained seriously, entered the ring, and accepted real risk. He also revealed that legal steps are being taken against those spreading these false claims. For Nikis, this statement matters because it protects the reputation of Jake and his team and shows fans and critics that the fight was real, fair, and never scripted. And that talk of fixed outcome has no truth at all.
Because then you can't think, you can't do things, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life. It's like literally everything is the quality of your ability to think.
Joe Rogan has already warned Jake Paul not to repeat reckless behavior like this again. He strongly advised him to think carefully before stepping into dangerous boxing matches, and clearly said that no level of success is worth risking your life. Rogan explained that the dangers inside the ring are very real, and chasing fame or money through unsafe or staged fights can cause serious harm. He made it clear that every fighter must place safety responsibility and smart decision making above everything else.
Grip, rig, this, that, and the other. Do you think now, at the very least, that talk goes away? Broke his jaw, went in there against Anthony Joshua. At the very least, do you think that you guys can move on from that? Like, that won't follow you?
No, I don't. I actually, our lawyers are actively going after a number of people. One who claims to be a lawyer himself online. I don't remember the name or the handle, but it was something that had like 200,000 likes. And basically this post said there was an agreement for AJ not to knock out Jake, but AJ disregarded the agreement and decided to not get his payday, but knock out Jake Paul. So it's pretty astonishing what people say. Your dear friend Lou DiBella saw him put up a bunch of ridiculous things and even said, Nikisa, go ahead and sue me, but this wasn't a real fight. He was pulling punches. He wasn't giving it his full effort.
And so for the people, again, just to clear this up, because I asked Eddie this question, I'll ask you the exact same question. Once and for all, was there any sort of arrangement as far as it should go this many rounds? Because that's the one that I've heard. Oh, Anthony agreed to 3 rounds, 4 rounds. Can you tell us in black and white if there were any talks of any kind between the network, the promotion, the fighter?
There has never once in Jake Paul's career been any talk of that sort, of anything to do with the fight being anything but a real fight that has exactly the same situation as any professional fight. And that's exactly the same thing here for the Anthony Joshua fight. It's just beyond mind-blowing that people would think that. Anthony Joshua was on record saying that if he didn't finish him in the first round, that would be disappointing, that it would be a failure. The narrative changed as we got closer to fight night and obviously post-fight, and I understand why, but they were...
Eddie Hearn shared a clear breakdown of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight and explained that every action in the ring followed a clear plan. He said Joshua team focused on staying patient and using controlled pressure rather than throwing wild punches. The goal was to push Jake Paul little by little, expose his weaknesses, and test his stamina before finishing the fight properly. Hearn explained that this calm and organized approach reflects true professional boxing, where disciplined timing and smart decisions matter more than pure power. Each stage of the fight was about staying in control and slowly taking over. According to Hearn, this strategy not only secured a victory, but also showed that boxing is a skilled and thoughtful sport where planning and experience separate champions from newcomers.
Look at all them celebrities like dude from the Mighty Ducks, the little boy actor that got strung out on drugs. And all his fronts and all his teeth were missing from being on meth or whatever, whatever drug of choice he was on. There's no coming back from that. The people who dissipate their teeth through drug usage, you don't get a second set. So if I'm not mistaken, the dude from Mighty Ducks, somebody he's been clean and they gave him a makeover and he has pretty much fake teeth. So yeah, the teeth are gonna be cooked. Now, I agree with the other part that Rogan was saying, but let's keep going.
I think he went into that fight knowing that was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the big win for him would be that he was even willing to do it and that he could do well for a little bit.
Yeah, and I've already expressed my thoughts on this. I'm not giving no props for a person who says I am a real deal boxer because I went and get smashed and got my jaw broken, but I lasted longer than Ngannou. But I was crazy enough to try because, to be honest, we're way past the honeymoon stage with a person like Jake Paul. You've been in this for long enough to go through fight camps, dedicate your time, effort, energy, money, spar with people. You spar with some quality names because you have resources and money or whatever. So we're well past that to the point where you just get credit for stepping in. You maybe got credit your first fight or whatever, first couple of fights, for coming from your background and, stepping in and fighting, but we're well past that. You have a box rec. You were being ranked by sanctioning.
Adam Catterall gave a clear and honest opinion on the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight and spoke about the imbalance that appears in modern boxing when fame shapes matchups. He said Jake Paul's rise has been fueled more by social media popularity and celebrity status than by real boxing skill or deep ring experience. Catterall pointed out that even while holding back, Anthony Joshua showed strong, controlled, sharp timing and clean accuracy as his punches caused real damage and exposed a clear gap in level between the two fighters. This difference sparked talk that outside pressure may have played a role in parts of the fight, rather than pure sporting reasons. There were also rumors that Jake Paul tried to manage the pace to lower risk and protect his image, which reflects a larger issue in celebrity boxing, where show and image matter more than authenticity. Catterall view highlights how hype-driven fights can weaken true competition by placing entertainment and market value above skill strategy and the traditional standards of professional boxing.
I said before the fight, I'm going to break him down and then I'm going to knock him out. And that's exactly what he did. I thought it'd be all over within 3 rounds. But, when I got in the ring after, because I was shouting, just, anywhere, arms. I got in, he went, what are you rushing me for? And I was like, oh, sorry. So, but obviously he knows what he's doing. And actually now quite pleased that we got the rounds, to be honest.
Yeah, I saw you said that. Really random, I was on Twitter and I saw Jake Paul's mum said she wants to get in the ring and punch you. She said she doesn't like the smug look on your face. She is promoting her book, so I'm not sure if she wants, But did you see that? What did you think of that?
No, I was very sad because I couldn't have been nicer and more respectful of Jake and what he's done. And I think Logan's amazing. I think he's an incredible athlete. And I shook Jake Paul's dad's hand in the ring, And if I would have seen Mum, I would have said, all right. But I think over the years, we've obviously had our beef, and she probably don't like me anyway. And I am probably a little bit smug. I wasn't smug after the fight because I would have been more smug if it was all over in a round. Yeah. So, no, I give Jake respect. And, sorry, Jake's mum.
Sam Jones gave a direct and honest reaction to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight and said it was difficult to watch not because of violence, but due to clear technical problems. He pointed out that Jake Paul struggled with basic boxing skills, such as defense footwork and reacting properly to Joshua combinations, These repeated errors made the fight feel unbalanced and highlighted the clear gap in experience and ability. Some viewers felt that certain moments looked almost guided, as if the pace was controlled to limit serious danger for both fighters. While Jake Paul clearly put in hard training, Jones said a lack of ring awareness and overall skill, along with signs of managed pacing, made the fight uncomfortable for fans who expected real competition. The bout exposed the risks of mixing celebrity influence with professional boxing and showed how entertainment can sometimes outweigh skill and authenticity, leaving people questioning the fairness of fights where show and sport clash so openly.
I've got to knock you out, but I've got to try and knock you out where I'm not hurting you as much as what I could if I unleashed. And with the punch you said that you landed, it's not his best punch, it's his most powerful punch, right? Yep. And he's shattered his jaw in 2 places, right? So Anthony Joshua gets his 70 million, whatever it is. But I think he's sitting there thinking, thank God for that. Thank God. On a human level, I've come out, all right, I've sort of, not reputation, but I haven't hurt him as bad as what I could have.
There should be an awful amount of people breathing a massive sigh of relief. Anybody that put that fight together, athletic commissions, like you said.
But it wasn't a fight.
No, it wasn't at all. Like you said, it was a prize fight. It was an event. If Anthony damages him, he's got to live with that for the rest of his life.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of stress to deal with, you know what I mean? So I'm sure he's bleeding inside of relief. The team that have put him in there, that have negotiated that for him, but the authorities that put that on and commissioned it as a proper boxing match, I've no doubt.
Does that go on his...
Yeah, it's professional boxing.
Do you know what? If I was Anthony Joshua, I would be saying, I don't want that on my record. But for the credibility of them putting the fight on, they would have said to him, no, we've got to say this. It's been commissioned. It's going to be a proper fight. And I found it, I love my boxing, but I just find the whole thing really, really unedifying. You said about get followers. You mentioned Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is nowhere near his level of getting like a British title fight or whatever. Nowhere near. So it's basically he's like...
Beat Jake Paul.
Right, oh yeah, sorry, yeah, beat Jake Paul. But so
but what I'm saying is that's 100. I stand by that, and I think Tommy would admit that. You know.
After the fight, Luke Thomas shared a critical response and questioned why Jake Paul was receiving so much praise. He said that stepping into a ring with a world-class fighter like Anthony Joshua should not be celebrated without serious thought. Thomas explained that the hype around the event often distracted people from the real dangers involved. Some observers also felt that Paul's confidence before the fight and certain moments during the bout added to rumors that parts of it may have been planned. Thomas warned that cheering for these kinds of matches can set a risky example and make it harder to tell the difference between real competition and pure entertainment.
And breaking Jake Paul's jaw, just talk to me right now about the fight itself and then we'll break it down.
Bit of a crap fight, if we're all honest. It was like watching Jaws 2 when all the kids went out on their boats and they were in the middle of the sea and the shark was just surrounding the boat, just like that's what it was like. It was just like a shark circling its prey and just like it was like nibbling and eventually got him. But Jake Paul showed big plums in there, no matter what anybody says about him, because I've seen people say, yeah, he went in there to survive. Yeah, okay, he went in there to survive. He's a guy that's been boxing a couple of years against a unified champion of the world who can really punch. It wasn't the best fight. It just wasn't the best thing to watch, was it? Like it was just, it weren't great. I just want to see now Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. I think at the stages of their careers they're at, AJ and Tyson Fury, we don't need to see interim fights, Andrew. We don't need to see interim fights because they're just potential banana skins. We want to see two of the best heavyweights of this era go.
Chael Sonnen strongly spoke against the fight and said matches like this are too dangerous to happen in normal situations. He explained that it felt less like true boxing and more like a fight for survival, where both physical harm and damage to reputation were very real risks. Sonnen warned that fighters with limited experience facing top-level professionals place themselves in situations that could threaten their lives. He added that rumors about Jake Paul planning parts of the fight only increased those dangers. Sonnen said mixing celebrity status with real sport harms the integrity of boxing and puts people at unnecessary risk. Other analysts also noticed that Paul looked unusually careful at times in the ring, which raised questions about his intentions. While some believed this was smart caution, others felt certain moments appeared guided to allow Joshua control without extreme danger, which supported claims that Paul may have tried to manage the pace and actions to protect himself and boost entertainment value.
And breaking Jake Paul's jaw. Just talk to me right now about the fight itself, and then we'll break it down.
Bit of a crap fight, if we're all honest. It was like watching Jaws 2 and all the kids went out on their boats and they were in the middle of the sea and the shark was just surrounding the boat, just like that's what it was like. It was just like a shark circling its prey and just like it was like nibbling and eventually got him. But Jake Paul showed big plums in there, no matter what anybody says about him, because I've seen people say, yeah, he went in there to survive. Yeah, okay, he went in there to survive. He's a guy that's been boxing a couple of years against a unified champion of the world who can really punch. Yeah, it wasn't the best fight. It just wasn't the best thing to watch, was it? Like it was just, yeah, it weren't great. I just want to see now Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. I think at the stages of their careers they're at, AJ and Tyson Fury, we don't need to see interim fights, Andrew. We don't need to see interim fights because they're just potential banana skins. We want to see two of the best heavyweights of this era go.
That brings today's video to an end. Stay tuned for the next one.